Okay, I think I'm alive. Welcome. I'm just closing the irrelevant windows so I could actually see what's going on in the stream. But I didn't plan this live stream, mostly because I have a little bit of time that I don't want to do anything else. And you know it's gonna be fun if I've got elbow grease and toilet roll. This video stream is not just for fans, for only fans, it's for everyone. So stick around, we have some 3D printers and I'll tell you more about what I've got, how I acquired it, and what I'm going to do with this. Because I wanted to have some 3D printers, bigger 3D printers. And I kind of have for the last couple of months, and I've been sitting on it quietly without telling anyone, and this is where we are. So yeah. I think everything is working, so I'm just gonna go ahead. If something doesn't work, you're gonna let me know. So, as you probably know, I have three Ender 3 printers, a couple of modifiers ones, one stock, and I covered them on Not Enough Tech. But the biggest problem with those is that they're not particularly large in terms of build volume. We've got 220 by 220 by 250. That's all you're getting. And it's problematic if you want to print something bigger, which means that I was really hoping to get something bigger. I didn't exactly know what. And yeah, long story short, I went to Sudbury early on in, was it June? I think in June, it was June. Jesus Christ, that's like 6 months ago. And with everything, house move and everything, in a way, I kind of didn't have a time to even look at what I exactly got. At the Sudbury, there was a tech swap table, so everyone brought some gadgets and dumped them on the big table, and we could walk away with stuff we wanted. It was awesome. You know you're in for a good time with people like dropping drones, 3D printers, and whatnot on that table. So big shout out to Dr. Footlake for organizing this and sending invitation for people. And excuse me, at the end of that weekend, there were two lonely 3D printers that were missing some bits. Not all of the bits, but some of the bits. And they were bigger, and no one wanted them. And I thought, like, I don't really need another project. In fact, I don't want another project, but they were there, lonely, and I just couldn't leave them there. So I hauled both of them together with me, and now they are here. So let me grab one, first one. They are in different states of disrepair. Yeah. So this is the first one. I actually don't know what's wrong with it. Let me just swap the camera on something maybe a little bit better. Is that better? I'm gonna do like this. Maybe that'll work best. I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but the bed is bigger. The bed on this 3D printer is, oh, there's some free bits on the magnet. It's 30 by 30, so it's significantly bigger. The height of this, it's going to be 30, about 45, I think. So this is what we're getting. And it's a frame. On the we have also we have one stepper in here, which is for extrusion. That seems to be. There is another stepper in here. We have some sort of hot end and a sensor that is a what is it called? The touch induction sensor. That's the one. That's the word I'm looking for. The extruder looks okay. I don't know. I haven't tested it. The bed obviously doesn't have a surface. I'll have a look. I think the heating element is still connected. There is a display at the front. Everything is super dirty, so I was thinking about just giving a clean, making an index of what items are missing and what I need to add to this printer, change or buy to make it functional, because I would like to have a bigger printer. So that is that is precisely the reason behind it. So if you have any questions, any advices, or with the bigger printers, then let me know. Is there any wobble in the frame? No, really. But yeah, but I'm gonna that's the first printer. We're gonna be doing one printer at a time and just kind of giving a quick clean, making notes of what's needed, maybe even powering it on to see what exactly works. But yeah, that is the plan. So that's the first printer. it looks like this, right? And I don't know if there's anything else you would like to know about this printer. The Z-axis seems to be a little bit... Can I force it down? No, it's a little bit sticky. Maybe, just maybe, I'll orient the camera slightly up like this. That'll provide you with a little bit more view. But yeah, it's super dirty. I have a notepad in here, I'll be making notes. So this is the first one. Let me grab the second one. Second one has more stuff on it. It doesn't necessarily mean that the stuff is working, but it has stuff on it. And I don't even know if that stuff belongs to that printer. So this is another puzzle that we're gonna be solving today. As you can see, it has, I think, droplets of rain and dust from camping. It wasn't exposed directly to rain, but it was definitely catching a couple of droplets here and there. And this 3D printer, it doesn't really have any motherboard inside it. It's just this box that kind of it connects to the side. Hopefully that works. And there is this mysterious box in here. Lots of cable, and that needs completely rewire. I can already tell you because I don't like the state of these cables. There is some sort of 4-pin connector in here, which God knows what it serves. We have no steppers here, no steppers. It has a dual axis. The bed size on this, let's have a look. Oh God, there's a grass in here as well and some loose bolts. There is a magnet on it, I guess, magnetic surface. So the size of this monster is also 30 by 30, and the height, I'd say 45 again. So it's two similar printers. Mechanically, it's missing bits. Like this is completely off the center. It definitely needs some things to be purchased, including steppers. I have a couple of stepper motors that I can buy. I don't know if this unit works. I might be looking at new, what's it called? Mainboard, motherboard for it. I don't know. But if I want to print the bigger area prints, then I could buy myself a printer, or I could try to resurrect those and see where I'm at. There's some 3D printed element. There's a massive induction sensor in here for the bed. This kind of doesn't want to move because the belt is preventing it from moving. It is fun. It's a genuinely interesting thing. Is there a brand on this? Shenzhen Creality. This is Creality CR-10. Oh, how I did not recognize this. Oh, it says on the front. Oh, look at that. You've probably seen that already. But this is a Creality, a 3D Creality CR-10. Okay, so it's going to be slightly easier to work with components for it because I'll know what to look for it. The other one, I just have a display screen available. You can't see my face, but my face isn't particularly pretty, so it's fine. Hello, Chris. Chris Tech, how's it going? It is an old CR-10. You were absolutely right about it. So yeah, it would be interesting to see how much money I have to spend on this to bring it to kind of the current level. I already upgraded the printers. I have a silent 3D printer. I'll paste it on the chat for you guys because this is a great upgrade. I have a 3D printer which is completely silent. I'm kidding you not. Silent. I'm just googling on my website. 3D printer. And I went through a process of learning about what to do to make them all silent and how much money you have to spend and stuff like that. So check out this article, guys. And I'll be interested to know how much money do I have to spend on this to kind of bring it to a current level. Right now, I probably need to hose it down. So with this one, it would be less problematic because it doesn't have any electronics. I could literally just strip it apart from the box or disconnect the box and hose it down. But since I have some napkins and elbow grease and all the tools are here, I'm probably just gonna do that. I reckon we're gonna start with this one or the other one. I don't know what we should start with, guys. I had a really good thanks for asking, Chris. I had a really good weekend. I went to IKEA and got myself a Alex cabinet which I glued together. And I might make a quick shot later showing you how much bloody crap I've got from the smart home systems over the time, over the all entire career. So I'll share that. I was mind blown. Basically, two Alex units are fully filled with smart tech, which is Zigbee and Wi-Fi. So that was new to me. But everything is in one case. And on Monday, I have new video equipment arriving, which is super exciting. I can't wait for that. I've been kind of delaying a couple of reviews because I wanted to shoot in really nice B-roll. So that's what's going to happen on Monday, because my slider got broken, and I wanted to keep the same level of things that I do. But yeah, so the weekend was pretty good, and I spent organizing my workshop. My workshop actually is nice now. I can walk in, I have a workspace in there, which means that one of the reasons why I've got the printers out is because I cleaned the workshop. I've got space for it, and I can actually decide that I'll do every, I don't know, half an hour work on them every day to bring them to speed. So yeah. Okay, let's start with this one because it's already on the thing. And I'll be talking to you guys while we taking stuff apart and figure out what's needed, what's not. This is, I don't know what that is. It looks like considering that this is connected to a bed, this is probably a main power split or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it has a plug on it, so this could be power supply. We'll definitely fix that. Let's try to disconnect this unit and clean it off. There is some 3M stick adapter in here. I don't know, do you prefer the camera like this or do you prefer the camera like this? You tell me. There is that SD card adapter thing. So that looks all right, put it aside. See how many cables I can disconnect from here, so I could have it separate. Does it mean that the bed has external heating? Is that what it is? Because that looks like a controller for the, oh god, this is gonna be a challenge, this. Yeah, because this is an extension cable. All right, and I think this connects to here, and this is to here, which then connects to the unit, which that would make it a heated bed. Oh god, this is really a piece of equipment. So now I think I almost have it disconnected. I won't be sorry if I cut some cables, because let's face it, it probably will. Oh no, I don't need to cut some cables. Everything is separate now. So we can kind of clean this and power it on and see if it works, and then we're gonna deal with this mess. And that's the first plan. So the IKEA smart stuff is slippery. So I've got everything from IKEA, one of everything from IKEA. So I bought that recently, and I'll cover the updates on IKEA smart system soon. But for now, I've got like 10 tons of different things coming. I'm going to Sweden this month for work, but what's more exciting is that I am going to Germany. Now I think I can speak about it. I'm going to Germany with Electromaker to cover Embedded World. Embedded World is all things like ESP and Arduino, Intel and Silicon Labs and Realty, like lots of companies that provide the hardware for all the smart tech that we're using. And they will be displaying their all new chipset and talking about the tech and everything. There will be a Zigbee stuff, and so basically I'm going there to tell you all what you can actually see in the expo in Germany, and I'll be there for 3 days with Electromaker. They invited me over and asked me if I could host all the videos for them, which I'm super happy to do. So if you tune in March to Electromaker between 11 and 13 of March, you'll see my face. You'll see my face speaking to all of you and speaking to all the knowledgeable people from different companies about their hardware, what's going to be smart systems like in 2025, what's coming up, and I'll have the hot news, which is fun. So that is the small announcement. Right. Did I do like this one? Like this? For now? I'll be switching between things so you could kind of like see it. But there's a switch between 110 and 220 volts. So the box actually, after cleaning, looks pretty new. There is a USB cable, which is the Micro B, I think it's called, the very old one. I have no reason not to believe that this is not working. I can already see the power supply. You can even take a look at what is the motherboard inside. But I think that that information might be actually on the printer itself. Right, I'll be dumping stuff on the floor because it's a live stream. I'm planning to be about an hour, maybe 1 hour and a half, to kind of see how far I'm gonna get. Obviously, I'm not going to do everything with them, but I want to know where I am. So this is the bit. Let me find the kettle plug, which conveniently is here. And let's power this off. Let's plug this in. Let's plug my cable and see if the thing's gonna explode or not. All right, are we ready for this? It works. Okay. That probably needs a little bit more clean. Well, is that custom? Yeah, it's already pre-flashed with marlin. You can already see it. Can I do? Look at that. Ah. So I have no reason not to believe that this isn't useful. It probably needs an upgrade in terms of firmware, which isn't bad. I could swap the motherboard depending on what I want to do. Let's have a look. What do we have? Info screen, motion. What do we have? What kind of version we've got? It doesn't tell you much. Let's see here in options. I can't see upside down. About printer. Okay, let's have a look. About printer. Printer info, board info, printer info marlin, version from 2019. Okay, board info, what we have. The 3D Studio Easy Board apparently. Games. I can play Invaders on it. Look! I don't know if you guys see this, but I can play Space Invaders on a 3D printer. Yes! Yes! Die! Yes, I'm going to win this invasion. Let's clear the let's see if I can clear the level. Oh, look at that! Dodge this! Yeah. Okay, they're speeding up now. I need to be a little bit clever. Oh, look at my aim. Okay, don't look at my aim. That was a bad shot. Yeah. And you! Ugh. Ah, how could I miss it? Okay, fine enough. That's enough. It's not a gaming stream. How do you exit this? How do you exit? No, never mind. Just power it off. It works. It works. It's now relatively clean. Should I just have a quick look inside? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. There's a couple of here. I'm just checking how difficult it is to remove this to see if there's maybe take a couple of pictures. But this is working, which is nice. I'm quite happy with this. Let's disconnect the cable so I don't shock myself. And I have some stuff in here. I'm just reading the chat right now. There's a lot of upgrades for CR-10. Yeah, CR-10 used to be the printer to go if you wanted to mode and to have something bigger, so I remember that. So yeah, let's have a quick look inside and see if there's a custom board on it or not. If it's a custom board, I'm probably not going to touch it. I think it's going to be good enough. If not, I don't have the big 3-tech boards left right now, so I'll have to buy something, or maybe ask them to send me some for upgrades. But I could get SKR Mini V3. I like that board. It's on my Ender 3, and make it run quiet as well. But yeah, but this is like a treasure trove of things. Inside we have a power supply, which I can swap it to be fanless if I wanted. I need to unscrew the power supply in order to get to the motherboard, and that's annoyingly is a bigger Allen key. Ugh. So yeah, in a second we'll find out what is the motherboard in it. I should probably gonna do that so it doesn't drop on the motherboard. Come on, the last one. A little bit stubborn this one, but it's out. Right, so now I should be able to remove this. Yeah, it is EasyBoard Lite 1.2. Have a look at, like, no, that's gonna be better. Trying to position that to a camera like this. And let me swap the cameras for you guys. Ah, that is much better, isn't it? Is it gonna focus? If we're gonna ask it nicely. But yeah, that is it. We have another spare fan in there, plug for the spare fan, and there is plenty of space to put a bigger motherboard in there. Does it have a dual Z's extruder? XYZ extruder. I don't see the second Z, but this one definitely has a dual Z's in it. So is that something that I need to mod? There is a buck converter in here, the 12 volts, I think, to power the fan, additional case fan, which is a weird thing instead of just drawing it from the thing. I'll be tempted to get another board because I have a space, and this frame supports dual Z-axis, so it would be silly not to take advantage of that. Yeah, other than that, yeah, everything is pretty standard. Okay, so I can I'll snap a quick picture so I can have it for reference for what I have. But that would be a plan for this board. That's a video. I don't want. That's a panorama. I don't want a panorama. I want a normal photo. That's the one. Okay. So for now, I can just screw that back in. And down the line, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a second board and make it a little bit bigger. Take advantage of the fact that I have a thing. I'll have to investigate. Like I said, there is a chance that, you know, there is a chance that maybe it wasn't from this printer, but it was brought to. Oh, this is annoying to get back in place. Let's figure out a better way. Maybe start from this one. So maybe I should be able to lift it. Okay, I've got one. Now if I'm gonna, yeah. So yeah, that is the board I've got in this CR-10, and I'll keep the enclosure separate, and maybe I gotta build enclosure for it, because since all the electronics are already outside, I don't need two exactly the same printers, so having one with an enclosure, heated enclosure, and one without, I think would enable a couple of extra options for me. So I think that might be actually a pretty good option. What do you think, guys? All right. Let's give it this a quick wipe. It's a little bit dusty on the inside. And a bulk of the investigation for one printer is done. We're gonna make some notes in a second. And then we're gonna clean up and check over mechanically what frame needs, apart from steppers, obviously, because the steppers were missing. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to having this available to me to print. I have some fun projects coming, and having a bigger printer would be excellent, especially at home. I have access to more professional equipment at work as well, but it's always nice to have them home because it kind of like feels homely to stay there. I think I have a couple of just the standard extruders, but I would probably go for direct drive maybe. I don't know. Like I said, like for now I just want to index what I've got, what's working, what doesn't, and then I'm gonna take it from there and figure out the rest. If I'm gonna swap the board, I probably will have to rethink the holes in here. So yeah, that is the kind of the plan that I have for this. Right, so this is okay. There's some cables in here. So the cables here I've got, looks like stops and some motor controllers for extruder and for X with the stop for X as well. So here I've got a power supply for something that could be for bed, and there's a cable for Z-axis, for stop and Z-axis, and there's a cable for Y-axis. And okay, so all the cables are really there. The thing is, likely I would have to see if I want to extend them. It would be nice to have like a panel you can just plug the cables here and disconnect them from the axis, so you can have this separate. But it's down the line. I'll see what I can do. Okay, so this thing's all right. Let's make a note. That was an EasyBoard Lite 1.2, if I remember to. So let's name this printer. Let's make a folder. 3D printers create. Okay, and in this folder we're gonna have a notebook that is called To Restore and we're gonna have per page. So this is it has yellow stripes, so I'm gonna call it Bumblebee. And we have a motherboard which is working, and that was a Easy Lite 1.2, if I remember correctly. Let me have a quick look at the picture again, because easy board. Okay. Right. Now, since that is working, let's have a look at the actual chassis for it, and what is doomed. We're going to clean it up a little bit and see what is doomed on it. Should I just swap it and we'll see what you prefer. I'll zoom out the camera as well, and let's put this one here, and let's investigate why do I need so many cables for it. Because there's way too many cables in here. Right, cool. We need to definitely undo some of these cables. There is even a string and these cable connectors to various things that are no longer connecting because there is nothing to. I should probably get myself some cable cutters. I'll get that, because without cable cutters we're not going to go far. It's everywhere, there's zip ties and stuff like that, and I want to strip this frame from unnecessary evil and clean it a little bit. So, and the zip ties that aren't really needed right now, which means all of them, because let's face it, they don't need it. And I'll disconnect all the Z stops, existing Z stops. This is like a cable management string, I guess someone did, which I can just disconnect. So I'm just going to undo all the cables that aren't attached. There's no extruder here, so I can just rip those cables as well. There's some 3D printed parts. I have access to machine shop, which means I will be able to machine proper, not plastic brackets, but metal brackets, guys. That's what I'm gonna do, a proper metal brackets. So another zip tie in here, and some zip ties here. At least I won't have to dive into the thing. I need a small thing to loosen this up and pull the sensor out. Oh, look at that. We have some of the cables out. Now there is this heated block in here, which I'm gonna investigate in a moment. But let's get rid of the... There is even earthing here. Bloody hell, someone went to town with this. I guess if you're using main power for this, then you need earthing, because otherwise it would be dangerous. This is a proper thing. Yeah, I think direct drive, I would go with a direct drive for this. Okay, I've got the most of the cables out. There is one more zip tie here. I'm just gonna be, I'm tempted to be a little bit rude and just cut this off. There's this bolt, and yeah, just gonna cut it off, the earth. It's fine. I have crimping tools. So these cables, what they consist a couple of switches. So I have this switch and any other switches in here. There is this thing, which is a barrel jack. So there's a power extension for something. There's a sensor connected in here, and that's it. So there isn't anything fancy other than some connectors that look like for microphones. So I'm just gonna dump it on the floor. This box, let's so this is basically a split between a thermistor or some sort of control unit in here and the heated element. So let's have a quick look inside. There's only like a screw or two, and let's see what that says inside. Oh, I can hear the sand. That's gonna need a deep clean, this. I feel like discovering ancient treasures. Okay, so what do we have? We have a solid state relay in here. That it's not solid state module, it's not a relay. It takes 380 volts maximum and outputs. So this is a 24 power supply basically. But then looking at how this is wired, so in here we have cables that are shielded, these ones for heat, and one goes to the AC. What? This is earth here, that's fine, and this is weird, because that would imply that this uses 220 volts to heat up the bed, and then you have some sort of circuit that does controlling through this. Maybe that's what it is. It's just a solid state relay that kind of makes PWM signal for the 200, and that's need new bed. I'm gonna need new bed for this. This is outdated, and I'm scared to use this. I am scared to use this. Can I disassemble this? Let's try to remove the bed. Let's first maybe flip it. I'll see what's on the inside. like I said, this has 2 z-axes, so so this has some sort of foam that covers the heating element. But I feel like I would need to make a new bed and buy a heating element or something, or just buy a bed. That would be the best thing. I should be able to unscrew the plate, isn't it? Okay, let's try now. Let's try to unscrew that. It has orange springs, so someone did some upgrades on it. It's absolutely disgusting in terms of cleaning this. Right, now I can remove the bed. Ugh, yuck. Right, so that's how it looks like from the underneath side. Yeah, I definitely feel I should be changing this. This is running a main voltage. I am not comfortable with this. That will be needed. So I should be able to find a bed or make my own bed. I have access to enough machinery to do it. So let's we need a heat bed. Need this bed, 300 by 300 bed, heated, 24 volts. Okay, and we need all the steppers, and to be fair, unless I'm probably gonna go with a new CR, the BL touch and stuff like that, so bed leveling and stops. We're gonna need also extruder bracket and extruder bracket, or all in one. Okay, so mechanically, let's clean this a little bit, and let's investigate the frame, whether there is. I should probably remove those Z rods. Because they're also not straight. Oh, this one is so to the side. I don't even know if I will be. I don't know. That feels bent. Oh, okay, that's better. So the rod. Okay, the rod, it isn't concentric. It's less than I was expecting. So I have 2 rods in here. If I wanted to, I could do it. But yeah, that plastic will need to go. We have some belts. Belts are here, but I need steppers. There's a switch in here, limit switch, and there's a limit switch probably for this side. So actually, I can get away with a without with switches. But I'll be tempted to maybe do optical. That would be interesting, man. Hello, Andrea. Welcome. Yes, it is CR-10. It's a very original CR-10. So I'm going to give it a little bit of clean, since they're like. Oh God, this is so dusty. I feel like I should bring a Hoover as well. But yeah, but it's going to be quite interesting to try to make it into something that is reasonable and modern. It's not going to be a bamboo, but it'll have open source. People, I've seen all the what's it called, controversy about the bamboo. I don't want to say anything. It's not my business. I take a path of silence on subjects like that, because I don't think I've got anything good to contribute anyway, and I have my own views to stuff. Oh. The frames feel stiff, to be fair, so I'm happy with that. Should I remove the belts? I think so. You can check if the belts are nice. Oh, this one sits really tight in that. Yep, okay. Yep. Belt's fine. The second belt, I can remove it as well. There's no point of having it on here right now. Will I be able to? Yes. And this belt. Yep, that's okay as well. Look at this being all nice. There's 3D printed parts. They'll go. I might as well just remove them now, because I'm gonna get the proper parts anyway. I'm gonna make them on machine, on proper stainless steel cutter and then bent parts, because yay, since I have access to it, I might as well. But yeah, that's not needed. Where's mine? This one, I think, this size. So I can remove the 3D printed parts and just drive the. Oh, they got nuts at the bottom. Yes. So I would make probably completely new part for this if I'm gonna drive a Z axis on both sides. Get rid of the extrusion bit. Get the extrusion to be direct drive, and that's gonna be, I think, a little bit more modern. They are actually, are they? No, I don't. These ones have slots for. I'll be matching screws anyway, so I might as well just remove them. So yeah, plastic bits, they're gonna go, and we're gonna replace them with the nice metal bits. By core 1, I luckily just announced I got the K2, and so like, oh, okay. How do you find the K2? Is the K2 worth it? There's sand in here. Like, I'd like to have a bamboo for easy prints in multiple filaments. I know you can achieve that now with like open source solutions, but honestly, I think there are two kind of customers. People that just want to have a 3D printer that kind of, you know, does what it does and move on with the projects, and people that are nerding over 3D printing, and they obviously have completely different take on this. But to me, it's absolutely okay to have a printer that is slightly more locked as long as you get the utility out of it for your needs. I don't have a problem with that. Providing, like I said, the situation doesn't change and you know in advance what you're getting yourself into. So maybe the update from bamboo people could upset people because they feel like they're losing functionality and stuff like that. So I can kind of get behind that part. But yeah, I just want a bigger printer to print bigger parts. Oh, look at that. It starts to look like something that wasn't buried in the ground for the last decade. I can't believe how fucking how dirty this is. And we still have another printer to explore. If you just joined me, there's another printer that I've just showed at the beginning of the live stream, feel free to jump to the beginning of it. You'll see both printers. So yeah. But the other one is kind of has less stuff, I think. It has more stuff on it and less stuff missing. And it's less dirty. This one was absolutely horrific. Okay, it's kind of a bit better. It's not ideal, don't get me wrong. I'm not like going to polish it, but just I don't want the grime and dirt everywhere. If it's gonna go to my workshop, it's gonna be there, because I was keeping it in a pantry, and now I have space for it, so you're gonna be there just taunting me. And like I said, I think the biggest change for this one is gonna be going from that weird contraption where the printer had a main voltage heated bed, which I definitely don't feel like I would like to have on the printer, just for safety reasons. There's no need for, like, basically there's no need for that. We have low voltage solutions. Okay. Right. Some grime here. All right, this is it's not ideal, but it's decent. It's enough. It's enough to be not looking like a dead body right now, and that's good enough. That's good enough for me at the moment. So, like, from a mechanical standpoint, let's investigate. So, that feels nice and smooth. Not all of the rollers are attached right now in position, because I can see them skipping. So that needs some adjustments, but it's obvious because the weight on it's gonna change and everything. It's nice. A little bit of play in here. There's something on the rollers as well. Just gonna drive my fingers to see if I can change this. No, there's definitely something. So I need to clean the rollers on this. It's easy, just remove this one, clean the rollers. There's some grass. But yeah, there's no play anywhere. Feels solid. I'm quite happy. I'm just gonna get rid of that plastic bit as well, because I don't think that was probably to hold the cable, so I don't need this. And I'll take off the front extrusion bracket as well, because that's not gonna stay, so I might as well just do it now. And then we're gonna move to the second printer and see what is that giving us. What is that using to be attached? Are you using all the wheels screws, or is just these ones here? I think you're using the wheel screws to attach. Okay, interesting. Let's do this. Let's see if I can undo them. And socket. Bigger socket. Oh, that's perfect socket, and to hold it. There's a metal bracket underneath it, so this is just the expansion board. I actually can remove it. It's being a bit awkward, but yeah. Oh, well. Fine. I'll undo the second one, and then I'll be able to remove this and do it in hand. Like this. So yeah, I'll make a custom one depending on the extruder I'm gonna get. I already got the what's it called? The water cooling extruder. I might go with that one if I want to get like enclosure. That would be definitely beneficial for the water cooling extruder. But that looks like it's very similar bracket that Ender 3 is using. Okay. that is well seated. Probably need to unscrew this. So yeah, that is the printer. What's going on in the chat? So, okay, has closed loop motors. I haven't tried closed loop motors actually. Would be interested to give it a go. Are they loud? What's the advantage of it? Because I don't know, to be honest. I'll have to Google it. But yeah, but I'm definitely gonna get the BL Touch or something like that similar to go with it. I have some big bulky sensors in here, but I don't think there's a massive advantage of using them. And if I can just get away with small probe out wood. So this is the thing, it goes like this, and the wheels are like on this side, I guess. Me trying to assemble it back. Sorry, there's the screw was on this side, and that was on this, and then there was a nut in the end. That's how we was it, and I'm gonna replicate this on the top. Put this one here. Don't go anywhere. And this, and a nut. And lastly, there's an adjustment spacer at the bottom. And the wheel. And the wheel was screwed in from the other side. And the nut was here. Okay, now we can just pop it in there. And make sure it doesn't slide off anywhere, because and with that said, we're gonna give that a rest, and we're gonna move over to the second printer of today's choice. Right, it's not going to go anywhere. I don't care that it moves right now. So yeah, this is the thing. We have some bits that you would probably want to keep it together, but we know what we want, and that's what's going to happen with this printer. So this one is reasonably clean. My pants look like I've been playing in a sandbox because of how dirty it was. And yeah, I am definitely not going to use a heated bed from this one. But the frame is solid. Right, the second star of the show right now, that you've probably already seen, is this. And it's called EEEP, or 3P, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to give it a quick clean, and there is electronics inside. There's mostly, I think all steppers are in, so we might actually give it a power through. There is no belt here. There's a lot of this. Let's give it a little bit of clean first, because hello Philip, how's it going? So yeah, welcome everyone. If you just joined me, this is the second printer. I received those printers from a tech swap when I was down south partying with Dr. Footleg and a lot of other makers. We had a tech table in which people donated unwanted tech, and people didn't want them, and I didn't want to take them either, because I promised myself I'm not going to take another project. But unfortunately, they were just there looking at me, being nobody's business, and I thought, like, you know what, I could really use bigger print volume than what I've got on Industries. And I thought, like, at some point I'll have a sit down and I'll try to figure out if I can fix them. The worst case scenario, I'll have a lot of MBS to use on something else, but the best case scenario, I'll have big printers to play with. And that is the live stream, to investigate what I need to buy, how much it's going to cost me, is it even profitable to fix it, or should I just save myself some money and get something decent that nowadays isn't like 20-year-old tech. That is the kind of plan. So we already know that the first one was CR-10, very ancient one with some dodgy main power bed heating elements, which I didn't like and I didn't feel comfortable running. Like mostly because I didn't wire it myself, and if I don't wire it myself, I feel like I don't trust it as much. But yeah, but this printer is mostly dirty. But it has most of things. It doesn't have a print surface, but it has a power supply and it has motherboard and a screen and most of the stepper motors, although not all of them are connected, and there is an extruder. Should I just swap the thingies? Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Maybe like for now, while I'm not doing anything on the printer, I could do like this. And yeah, oh, it has a lot of grass in it. And cleaning it, oh. I can tell when this printer was for its lifetime and the DNA that is included. Okay, that was the end cap, which will... I can even tell you what was printed on it because there's a bit of filament in there. It's okay. I'll run my switch board later to clean all that mess. I wonder if screen is working. I don't think screen is working because there is no connector to it. I can't feel any connector now. So the screen isn't working. But that might just require a connector. Oh God. There's so much crap in it. Guys, this is absolutely... yuck. So the screen is either 3P or EEEP, that's what it's called. And we are trying to see if this is gonna even power on. The printers were given to me without any warranty or hope that they're gonna work again. So if I'm gonna get them resurrected at some point, I'll be super happy. Later on after live stream, I should get a vacuum. Should I go get a vacuum? Yeah, I think I'll get a vacuum. This is ridiculous. I get a vacuum. Sorry, guys. I have a nice cordless vacuum, and I'm doing all that stuff. This attachment and this attachment, and I'm ready to go. Look at that. Ta-da. Ooh. Right. Oh yeah, I should have done that straight away. That made such a difference. Right, that's gonna... I should have brought that straight away because that was super easy and nice. Right, a little wet wipe around the extrusion pieces because there's some stains on it from God knows what. I told you it's going to be a fun stream when you have elbow grease in the towels. Probably missed my excellent joke about OnlyFans at the beginning of it. But yeah, but we are here now and we're doing stuff. So, looking at the printer and what's connected is, the screen is definitely not connected. Just gonna remove it now. I need a smaller one. And see how... Huh? I need something in between these two. I'm gonna see how I can get it connected. I don't think I have an Allen key that it kind of goes in there. Ah, there is. Let's see. It's probably just a standard thing, but it's worth checking, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a standard connector on it, and you can see. And the screen has a USB, a micro, and a SIM card. SD card. So it's alright. Just gonna keep it separate right now. I might have a spare cable already, but chances are I'm gonna spend the next 20 minutes looking for it, so let's not. Well, let's investigate. So that has 2 rails parallel, these are parallel, and then it has things. The bed is connected, it looks decent. The heating element, there's a cable in here underneath it. I kind of like the position of it. Now we have extruder, which and the probe is kind of just dangling there. I'm just gonna remove this and to get rid of the probe. It has a quick connector-ish, maybe it's not a connector. The extruder is absolutely ancient. It looks like something made out of MBS, so that's gonna go. Sorry, extruder, hot end. The extruder itself looks like on the early versions of Creality Enders. Is there a sensor on it? I think it has a pass-through sensor. Yeah, it has a pass-through sensor, so filament sensor. We have a single lead screw, so single Z-axis motor, and that's connected to here, another extruder present, and they all plug in at the end. So the only thing isn't plugged in right now is a cable. This is a sorry, not cable. Screen. Oh, hold on a sec. Is that looks like a screen cable, but it's folded on itself? Is that just I need to pull it out? I see all the connectors in there that aren't connected. Maybe it's worth having a pick underneath it. Now, how would I do this? How would I do exactly that? So the screws are on this side, on both this side, and then I think I can slide that panel out. Is that stable enough? Maybe. Should we try this? Should we try to open this? Let's swap the cameras. So this is a Phillips head screwdriver. One Phillips head screwdriver, thank you. This is why I don't like about this set. It has absolutely loads of fun pieces, but it also has pieces that have like three wing pieces. So that has 6 screws to access it, apparently, hopefully. So I don't have to dig into it for a long time. Someone was inside considering how wonky the screws are being done. So someone might have done some work on it, and some of the connectors inside aren't connected because I can already see it. We are gonna have a quick peek inside, see what is motherboard inside and what we're dealing with. But it's a like CR-10-ish. Oh, there's a sticker in here that says anything. It's MP10 Monoprice MP10 3D printer UK. If someone can Google it, you'll know what that is. Only prints account. Yeah, this is 300 by 300 by 450 in terms of volume, so it's actually the same as CR-10. That looks like a bad idea. Nothing looks like a bad idea. It's a Monoprice. Okay, so you know that I don't know the Monoprice brand, so I've missed out on that. But yeah, in a second I'll show you what it looks like underneath it while I'm trying to figure out the way to access it. Okay, so the screws are off, and in theory I should be able to pop this down unless there's some screws here. Ah, it's out. Oh, and we have actually, the cable was just, this is a screen cable out. What is this thing? I'll show you guys, don't worry, I'll show you in a second. But honestly, that can go in here. Oh my God, look at the estate space and the size of that power supply. This is absolutely amazing. Let me just flip this now for you guys so you could see. Probably if I'm just gonna do this, no, this one, and rotate this. So in here we have a power supply, there's a board, and there's absolutely nothing in there. I'm gonna go and take a picture. So I'm gonna go to the front to take a picture. What was disconnected was a fan, but I also found the cable for the screen, so we will be able to do it. The motherboard itself, it doesn't reveal its name. It looks like, oh God, it looks very ancient. I'm just gonna take some pictures. You're probably gonna need another power supply. So this is absolute ancient stuff. There's no designation of this motherboard whatsoever. All right, fine. Got some pictures. I know what I'm dealing with. Let me just climb back to my space. And let's put the rods from the gods on here. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna connect the screen and try to power it and see what's gonna happen. It's not that heavy, it's just I have a dodgy shoulder and it's a little bit painful when I'm lifting stuff. So let's connect the screen using this connector. Cool. Nice. Now I can reconnect that screen via screws to make it nice and not to go anywhere. Only cables. So much space for activities. Yeah, you could host a 3D printer orgy in. You could basically squeeze another Ender 3 inside. Strip it back to frame to more. Yeah, probably that's what's gonna happen. Like I feel like stepper's gonna stay, but the rest of it, it's gonna go. Okay, shall we give it a go? Is it set to 220? Yes. Let's get my magical cable. Let's find the plug, which is here on this side. Maybe let's not grab the frame with my entire grip. Let's grab it like this while I'm connecting the power supply. The reason behind it is you don't want your you don't want to grip too much. You want to be able to do this, and if you do that like that, that is slightly dodgy. Okay, so I have it. There's a magical switch in here. The light is on. Okay, the frame isn't live, but the screen is dead. Okay, so it gets power. Let's have a look. Nothing suggests that the screen shouldn't be working. Power is connected to the board. Everything is kind of plugged in where it's supposed to be. So I have no reason to believe that the screen shouldn't be powered on. but the screen isn't powered on. So it's fair to say that motherboard might be dead, which means a big operation right now. Is that tracking me? Is it? And I decided to track me, nice. So yeah, sorry, there's no dice on the screen. I can obviously test the screen with another Ender 3 or something because it's the same thing. This is looking for the most interesting subject and it's not much. Well, camera, just stop. I probably did this or something like that. Is it stopped now? No? Let me just stop the camera from being happy. I don't want tracking, just standard no tracking. Okay, it's not tracking me anymore. Okay, no, it's just I had a motion sensor enabled for like motion face tracking sensor enabled for it, so that's all it was. I'm using OpenSpot, so I've got a review on that one. It's tiny too. It's good. It's just trying to. Oh. Don't know what's happened, but I'm back. I probably made the gesture that it thought it was the gesture, so oh, right, I have some coffee in here. All right, so this one, let's power it off. Disconnect the plug before I get myself shocked on the camera and you're all gonna have way too much fun. So this one's gonna need a motherboard for sure. And once I get a motherboard, I probably won't like, I don't know, maybe this is a touch display because I don't see any control volume knobs or anything. So it might need that, and it's gonna, oh, this is hot. For a second I felt like I feel a bit of heat. I'm like, it's not my heating. This is about 60, maybe 70 degrees right now. This is hot. Okay, so the heating element is working consistently. That's good to know. That's one way to find out. I know it shouldn't be hot. It's probably motherboard that is fucked up. So it's off. Obviously, it's not connected to the power anymore. But I'd like. There's no runaway control. There's nothing on it right now. The board was dead, so it was probably just heating it. How the heating is resolved? Let's have a look. And the heating control splits. I don't like the fact that the heating element gets to a 220 volts to 10 volts split, because that has some brown wires in here, and brown, but they're not thick enough. No, that must be 24 volts in here from the power supply, and there's absolutely no indication of how this is being operated, but I don't think they would make a mains here, and the switch isn't doing anything with that, so I think this is 24 volts. I'm safe on that. But yeah, it's a it was surprising. Probably the board is broken and that's why the heating just decided to heat itself. But at least I know the heating element is working. Was the nozzles cold? So nozzle didn't warm up. I don't think the power on and off will change anything in this scenario, but so for this one, let's make notes of what's needed for this one. All the guts, really. We have stops, the bit shit. We need sensor, hot end. We have all the steppers. I could keep the bed. We might need a screen and a motherboard and a new power supply. So this one we're gonna call a hot stuff because it heated up. Hot stuff. So we motherboard unknown, probably broken. We needed, and this is Monoprice MP10. We need extra hot end, motherboard, power supply, bed surface, maybe screen, and obviously the probe if needed, but the rest of it looks okay. Now from mechanical standpoint, what we're dealing with, it's very rigid, especially that it has those supporting brackets in here. Is that the only way it's fitted? It doesn't have those, no, it's screwed in. So it screws alongside this and it has those supporting brackets on the side, which is quite nice. I like it because that keeps it really stiff and you don't need those big support arms. In terms of travel, okay, that feels okay. Not even play. I'm surprised how parallel it is, considering that he's using two beams in here. To get them parallel square would be a bit of a nightmare to do. Z-axis, the rod seems to be okay. I don't particularly like the coupling because it looks a bit odd, but it might work. The cabling, it's decent. I don't hate it. But we can easily access it because it's like a wraparound sleeve, which means I could have removed the hot end and stuff like that. But I'm gonna leave the hot end for now because it's nothing particularly wrong. The x-axis feels a little bit grumpy. Could use a probably, it's not overly tension, so it's biting on the wheels. The z-axis can't really tell because it's very hard to rotate. I think that's all right. That feels pretty good. The lead screw is in a good shape. It didn't wobble when I was twisting it, so nice. So yeah, we're gonna need a new motherboard, and if you're gonna need a new motherboard, I'll probably need to redo all the wires because I'm gonna have new connectors for it. But that is the second printer that I've got, and that was a Monoprice MP10, if I'm correct. This is Remarkable 2, the notepad. I also covered it on my thing. I like it. There is a Remarkable paper now, which has a highlight and full color, but I don't think it's any better than the Remarkable 2. So if you have the Remarkable 2, I don't feel the jump is better. So I wouldn't upgrade. I'm happy with this. But if I didn't have it, I would definitely consider it. So yeah. Could mod dual screws. I could do dual screws because like looking at everything, I should be able to fix it easily. Or maybe, yeah. But then it depends on what motherboard I would go with, right? If I'm gonna go with SKR or something like that, so I think it should be sufficient for this. But yeah, frames feel solid. I feel like I could get this printer to work for about 60 to 70 pounds in total. Maybe a little bit more depending on what kind of hot end I would like to run. I personally nowadays I want to run hot ends that are capable of like 350, so I could do like more exotic filaments, mostly because from work I have access to a carbon fiber nylon, and that runs at 280 to 290. So it's good to have that headroom for this, and that prints really nicely, and having ability to print in a bigger volume would be just ideal. So that's something I'd like to be able to do it. So I could go maybe for some fancy extruders on it. Now, I don't think I'm gonna do anything for speed. If anything, I would go for making my printers quiet. Like the more printers you've got, the less speed matters because you can print multiple parts at the same time. and obviously the noise starts to be a problem, because if you don't have a dedicated space where you can keep your printers, then you're gonna annoy people for a long time. So I tend to build my printers for noise levels rather than speed, and obviously you ended up with slightly better print quality as well, because it's slower, so you're able to control it better. But yeah, but that's the second printer. And now I know more or less what I need. I'm gonna make a proposed list of things to buy, price them, see who from the companies would like to work with me. Maybe I'll save some buck, and I'll put them in my workshop next to my Enders. 3D E3D Revo. Oh yeah, maybe. 350, 350, 500. That's a. I mean, that's a slightly bigger. I think the jump from what I'm doing to this would be already more than enough. Because I think at some point you have to kind of, like, let me just put this away now, because I'm not going to do anything with it now. I think that the case for the printers is that you have to think about what do you want to print. And it's very rarely, other than you doing some kind of enclosure or fairings or something, that your part's going to be this this size. If I make any parts for my industrial robots at work, right? Other than the main bed on which the robot is sitting, most of the parts I would be able to make on the volume of Ender 3. I kid you not, and we're talking about the machine that is the size of a couple of fridges. So unless you do fairings and they have funny shapes, and obviously industry goes with molding and we have to rely on 3D printing, then I don't think you would have to go that much further. You could argue for belt one, which allows you to print long things if you're into swords and stuff like that, but I just don't think that 3D printing as a material is good for big things, because of the layer separation. The bigger the print, the more prone it is to separating across the layers, and that can be problematic. So personally, I think that like in a space around 300 to 400 square millimeters, that is the build area that you kind of, it's sufficient for most of things. Yeah, you could say that if you do crazy stuff like other makers, then yeah, you could argue that maybe, but a lot of the time what we do is just contain smaller parts, and you can fix them together, and using fixings to join parts straighten them, because what you end up creating as a couple of, assembly of a couple of parts that have been printed in a different orientations, and when you join them together with screws, actually creates a stronger assembly, because you don't have all layers in the same direction. So it's something worth considering when you're designing a project. So that is my take. Obviously, everyone has different needs and different takes on what they want to do. I'll be wrapping up this stream. I probably have a couple of news that I'd like to share. So first, like, if you missed this small announcement, I'll be going to Germany with Electromaker, and I'll be covering Embedded World Expo in Germany, in Nuremberg, halfway through March. So you'll see my beautiful face, talking to people like Espressif, Arduino, Intel, Realtek, Silicon Labs, and whatnot, about the new products, embedded software. And this is very close to smart home, so I am super keen to get that happen. So that's what's going to happen in March on Electromaker channel. And for my channel, oh god, I am close to actually starting with home automation, which sounds funny, because like I swear to god, I have absolutely nothing connected right now. I've lied. I have a dashboard with my electricity, so if I go on my Node-RED, you'll be able to damn it, you'll be able to see. It's not going to focus, isn't it? Let's see if I can focus it. So this is measurements from my solar panel and drawing from my thing. What's it called? From my solar panels on the grid and stuff like that. But this is just a bit that I'm going to do. So fear not. I don't have a battery. The panels don't belong to me. They're leased panels. So right now, for the next 2 or 3 years, I can't do anything. I can read the lease agreement and decide whether I want to terminate it early and pay the money. I have a 3,500 watt array on my roof, which it's not enough for heating. In the summertime, yes, but in wintertime, I generate anywhere between around, on the cloudy days, around 200 to 300 watts, which is little. On the sunny days, in the peak times, I can get up to 1,900 watts, which probably would be okay for like maybe 3 or 4 radiators. Now, my panels are 245 watts each, and I have 14 of them, and I could replace them with something stronger, basically tripling my output, solar output, and then I could either reuse those panels to capture some scatter or try to see if I can introduce more panels. But that would triple my output in the winter, and that would actually allow me to run heating. And my plan for the heating is to invest in dual fuel heaters, which means that you get electricity and central gas heating running together through the same radiator. And during the solar hours, I would just dump the electricity into the heating and preheat my house. And once I get home, I can just, use after dark, I can use just the regular central heating, knowing that my home has been preheated and I don't have to use that much heat. I don't have batteries right now because the battery would be modifying the current output. And I feel right now I'm kind of playing even. I'm measuring everything and logging my current use of electricity. Like from very basic observations right now that might be inaccurate, I get about 70% to 80% of entire coverage of my house use through solar. However, that obviously happens via solar and I get more power, and then I'm not home and that power isn't being spent on my devices, but it's being sent to grid, and my company that leases the panel is making money out of it. So in theory, I could cover most of my household use if I had the battery, providing the data are good. But like I said, that would require me to have ownership of the panels first. And so I think the way I'm gonna do it, I'll probably see how much money I want to spend on that lease, if I want to terminate it early or just use it as is. And then I probably would focus first on increasing the panel wattage and then battery, because panel wattage allows me to use other stuff. Because if I'm gonna run like microwave or something, I obviously don't have enough solar right now, unless it's a very strong solar day, summertime or something. So that would be my first, I think, plan. And then later on, I could start thinking about the battery. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your comments, really, I do. There are some cool reviews coming. For example, this little device, I absolutely love this right now. This is a part of a SwitchBot smart vacuum system. I will be talking about it very soon. There's a couple of other things that I probably have on the other side. But they all wait for my slider. My slider unfortunately got broken, and I love the B-roll that I make, and I have a studio on the other side. I can actually show you. Let's give you a tour of my studio. No one's seen that before, but I'll give you a tour of my studio. So, this is my camera equipment corner. There's all the charging cameras and stuff like that. Now let's go to the other side, because I can't rotate that way. You'll see my B-roll studio. So this is a shelf where I have, come on. This is a shelf when I have the stuff at the top, which are waiting for the B-roll, then it's done, and then some for review. So there are different shelves. This is the corner where I'm shooting the B-roll right now, and you can see that I have a kind of makeshift slider done from a MBS and some sliders from work, and it kind of works, but I have to use the mobile phone. I can't really use my camera, so it's slightly annoying. and the proper slider is unfortunately broken, which, can we see it? It's on the floor. It's there in the corner on the floor. Can I rotate it more? No, I can't. It's there in the corner on the floor. It's broken. So yeah, that is unfortunate. And now this is my studio. So yeah, on Monday I'm gonna have a really exciting way of shooting videos, and it's gonna help me not just with the B-roll, but it's gonna help me with all the automation videos. Because essentially what's gonna happen, I'm gonna have a robot arm holding my camera for me, and that is super exciting. So yeah, I'm super cool. I have a I have a one mini PC that I'm going to be talking about. Well, I have a list in here on this. I have some smart measuring devices. I have Switchbot has some cool devices coming up. I can't talk about it yet. I have some Sonos stuff I've been meaning to cover, which is going to be used on my heating system very soon, because I want to control my heating remotely, because it's cold when I come back from home and I can't. My thermostat is rubbish, and every time I touch it, just the battery inside resets the schedules, and I'm just sick of setting it. So like I'm just freezing for the first hour when I get home. And we have also some Agara stuff coming. I have Agara water valves and alarms, and there is a new thing that I cannot talk about. What else is on that shelf? Oh, I have a new Argon case for Raspberry Pi. I can talk about it. I have a tech drop to edit, and I have a yeah. There is a lot. There is a lot of coming, and there is a couple of videos about. So there's a couple of videos about Node-RED. I have stuff about the new dashboard and how to use the Influx 2.0 integration for database, which I'm already using to store my electricity data. There is a lot of things that I just kind of have to sit down and finish. But with my work being absolutely crammed with stuff, and me going to Sweden within the next 2 weeks, I don't even know when, we'll put a damper on that. So. And then there is also a video from the Food Fest, which is like 6 months overdue, and the Maker Central, which it's gonna be like last year, just released in panic like 3 weeks before the actual event on the next year. So that's what's gonna happen. And I talked to lots of amazing people, and I have really good footage from it. But because of the house move and because of everything, it's just there is not enough days in hours in a day, and I still don't have a bedroom. My bedroom needs to be plastered, so I need to do that. And then there is some stuff that I need to do downstairs. I have to lay tiles, and the tiles are waiting for the radiators, and the radiators are waiting for the calculations to which radiators I'm gonna get. And then I have to get an electrician that will do the radiators, elements, heat up the thing, connectors. And then maybe then I can just put the tiles. It's just everything is done by a house. Don't buy a house. Everything is linked together. So I've decided I'm not covering any like a groundwork, right? I'm gonna be doing. I'm filming stuff that is kind of relevant to home automation. I don't do decoration on my thing. There are some weird choices I've decided to do. But yeah, I'm kind of not covering this, at least not for now. But I'm filming a lot of stuff because later on it's going to be a good B-roll footage when I'm talking about the house automation. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just checking on the chat right now. Let's spot and release stuff really soon. Yeah, I think. Oh, there is a new soldering iron from Miniware, which I got, and the new hot plate. That's going to be coming as well. If you got plastered, you wouldn't care. Yeah, you know, trust me. Oh, you can see my bedroom actually in my air purifier video. You can see my me scrubbing a bit of drywall for the purpose of creating dust that purifier then cleared in like seconds. So you could see the state of my bedroom. My bedroom basically right now, because I needed to remove built-in wardrobe, rebuild a wall, and then cover basically big gaps in the ceiling and put a final skim on the feature wall. Then I can then my next plan is to run some cables for a projector and audio, so they run behind the wall into the special thing that I do behind the skirtboards to run my cables. And then I can actually put the skirtboard back and get a guy to gonna cut me a new carpet, and while that's happening I can then repaint it. That is the plan, and then I can build the bed. I've bought this place in the end of October, and I still don't have a bed. I sleep on the floor. it's on mattress, so at least it's that. But yeah, I don't have a bed right now because that part isn't. But I have a very nice hot plate to keep me warm now, which is big and serves me up as a pillow. But that is the plan anyway. Yeah, congratulations and condolences. I can totally relate to that, because the thing is, the most I think surprising thing was that I haven't figured out, or I haven't noticed stuff during the viewing that later on, when I just kind of moved in here, it's just like, oh, I need to do this, and oh, I need to do this, and I kind of thought like I was paying attention, but there is always stuff that's going to come up, and there is always stuff that is just ew. And I knew this house was going to have project elements. I probably didn't anticipate a couple of them that turns out to be so big, but well, it is what it is. And it's just me. I can survive the discomfort, and it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I'll do it. It's gonna be fun. And the fact that I'm gonna have a dedicated studio with a dedicated B-roll session, and it's gonna be just it's kind of, I'm super excited for it, and I'll be doing a lot of studio related stuff, how to build a studio and how to I can't even, I don't know where to start with all the stuff that I've got. I've got lists and lists of things that I wanted to do. So that will be coming at some point to Not Enough Tech when I've got time. That is my promise. Right, I'll leave you be. Thanks so much for joining me for this. I appreciate it. It was nice. We've learned something about the CR-10 I've got and Monoprice MP10. I'll be trying to, like I said, I'll probably spend some time when I'm in Sweden. Yeah, when I'm in Sweden, I can actually sit down and spend some time to make an order list of things I need for them, see how much it's going to cost me, and then where I can kind of slot that in within my budget. And you'll probably see a video of me restoring them properly. Yeah, for the next video, I probably is gonna do the switchboard stuff for the next video. Yeah, that's next. But you're gonna see a couple of tech drops before that, because there's stuff that I haven't covered. It's already filmed. I think I've got like 3 or 4 videos filmed, just waiting for the B-roll and waiting for the editing. But like I said, because of my slider and because I knew I'm gonna get a new funky little toy to film, I kind of didn't want to do it until I've got it. So that is the hesitation, and that's why the holes in the Not Enough Tech release schedule. So yeah, right. Have a good night, guys. Enjoy your week ahead. Don't work too hard, and I'm probably gonna run another live stream next week, and we're gonna do something fun. I want to get in the habit of having one live stream a week, probably on the weekend, doing some cool stuff, whether it's a repairing thing or like, it's gonna be random. There will be no promises. But yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, to have this every week. So take care, guys. Enjoy everything, and I'll see you around, I promise. Bye bye.